Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a look outside our weather window. And today, it was a cloudy one out there, wasn't it? We did see lots of clouds move in this morning, a bit of sunshine then, and then just cloudy skies this afternoon. Lots of activity around the Wenatchee area today as we head into the upcoming weekend. Beautiful shot. There you see those high clouds and some of the mid-level clouds that we saw today. And that will continue as we go into the upcoming weekend. In fact, it's really not going to be that great a weekend. We will see some cool weather coming up for us, also some showery weather. That'll mainly be in the eastern part of Washington, and breezy conditions. And boy, I think that will really be our weather story here in the Wenatchee Valley, both Saturday, especially on Sunday, and then once again on Monday. We'll call it breezy Sunday and then windy. In fact, very windy for Monday. Temperatures will cool down as well. And if you're planning an outdoor camping trip, maybe to Grant County or somebody that's in phase 2, it's going to be a cold one out there. We could see lows 30s to low 40s over the weekend. And yes, even some snow flurries above 5,000 feet. We'll talk more about this storm system coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Latino advocates in the Wenatchee Valley say the Chelan-Douglas Health District needs to make sure immigrant workers and non-English speakers are included in their recovery solutions for COVID-19. Slidewaters, the popular water park on Lake Chelan, is suing the Department of Labor and Industries to prevent it from enforcing Governor Jay Inslee's stay-home COVID-19 orders. And more Black Lives Matters demonstrations are planned for Wenatchee this weekend. But first, we begin tonight. Okanogan County was one of 6 new counties approved to move to phase 2 of Governor Jay Inslee's Safe Start reopening plan, and 7 counties were approved Friday to go from phase 2 to phase 3. But Chelan and Douglas counties remain among the 5 counties in the state still in phase 1, the most restrictive for businesses and activities. The State Department of Health also approved a plan for King County, the state's most populous county and the early epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak, to move to a less restrictive version of phase 1 called phase 1.5. Chelan and Douglas County officials are submitting a plan for moving from phase 1, but when there will be a decision on that plan is still uncertain. To move from phase 1 to the next, counties must show a reduction in new positive tests for the coronavirus, that their healthcare system is ready for a potential outbreak, that testing capability is adequate, and other criteria. Counties approved to move to phase 2 are Clark, Okanogan, Pierce, Skagit, Snohomish, and Whatcom. Approved to move to phase 3 are Columbia, Ferry, Garfield, Lincoln, Pend Oreille, Stevens, and Wahkiakum counties. In other news, Latino advocates in the Wenatchee Valley say the Chelan-Douglas Health District needs to make sure immigrant workers and non-English speakers are included in their recovery solutions for COVID-19. The district is drafting a plan to reopen business sectors and gathering places that have been closed during the pandemic. But one proposal for that plan would count coronavirus detections differently if they occur in group housing, including facilities where migrant farm workers often live. 13 community members representing 3 advocate groups signed a letter questioning the idea.
We know that they just stated that they will take congregate housing out of their general community, but we don't know exactly what kind of congregate housing numbers they will be separating. What is clear, and we have followed up with Dr. Malcolm Butler, is that we didn't misunderstand, that they will be taking the congregate numbers out of the analysis of the numbers and the reporting of the numbers from our counties.
We need a proviso to approach congregate facilities as distinct from other parts of the economy, such that high-volume clusters in such facilities do not confound community statistics. This will protect industries who, through no fault of their own, have designs that allow rapid viral transmission, and will protect the community that hosts such industries.
If you look backward, and I don't know Barry or who I need to ask, and take out the congregate living testing that you've done, how much would that lower the history of what we've done so far?
It would limit it, but it would not remove the increased, the gradual increase that we saw since the middle of the second week in April. So, you know, we'd still be well above the desired level, but not quite as far above it. We need to acknowledge that those cases are as important as any others, but we just need to interpret them appropriately.
As I've looked at those numbers, if we have roughly 400 positives, we've had roughly 100 come out of the congregate facilities, so it's roughly 25%. So again, an important subset, but not driving the boat.
I often have to remind some of the people that I have been in multiple Zoom meetings that the Latinx community does not operate in the same context as mainstream. For instance, there is no NCWLIFE in Spanish where discussions like this take place. We don't have a Wenatchee World like we used to have it. I was part of El Mundo in the past, but the resources that Hispanic media have are not there in the same way that mainstream is. So we have a language barrier, we have all these other things that are obstacles, and if anything that has proven so far about COVID is that we have been identifying systems that we thought were working and have had pitfalls that now are truly showing the true colors.
The Chelan Douglas Board of Health, which oversees the health district, was scheduled to discuss the plan in its meeting earlier today. Well, Slidewaters, the popular water park on Lake Chelan, is suing the Department of Labor and Industries to prevent it from enforcing Governor Jay Inslee's stay-home COVID-19 orders. The Freedom Foundation, an anti-regulatory nonprofit based in Olympia, is funding the legal challenge, which was filed Thursday in Chelan County Superior Court. Under emergency rules adopted last month, L&I can fine businesses up to $10,000 if they operate without approval under the governor's Safe Start plan for phased reopening. Chelan County, as we mentioned, is still in phase 1, meaning large gathering places like water parks are forbidden from operating. Slidewaters and Freedom Foundation lawyers claim the park has a health plan in place that would allow it to open safely. They're seeking a temporary injunction. Well, public demonstrations and protests have become the norm in the wake of George Floyd's death in police custody 2 weeks ago. Wenatchee has hosted 2, with a third one now planned for Saturday night. Organizers say they'll move from Memorial Park north onto Wenatchee Avenue starting at 4 p.m. A similar gathering is planned for Leavenworth tonight. Coming up next, Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties will receive small business emergency grants. Douglas County Fire District 2 this week celebrated the groundbreaking for its new fire station. The state Supreme Court has weighed in on racial injustice amid hundreds of protests over police brutality toward Americans of color. And the Tree Fruit Research and Extension Center in Wenatchee will have a new director as of July 1st. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today, 509-663-1710.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In another news, the Chelan Douglas Regional Port Authority announced yesterday that $333,000 in Working Washington Small Business Emergency Grants to support 71 local companies severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The selected pool of grantees includes 17 restaurants, 14 retail establishments, 10 salons, 3 fitness facilities, 3 beauty and personal services businesses, 3 manufacturing facilities, 3 childcare businesses, 2 agricultural businesses, and additional small locally owned establishments. Grantees are located in 12 different cities across Chelan and Douglas counties. Grantees represent 38 women-owned businesses, 11 minority-owned businesses, and a veteran-owned business. These businesses will primarily use these funds to pay rent, utilities, and other allowable expenses. Also, the City of Quincy announced it will provide grant reimbursement for small businesses up to $5,000 for costs associated with the pandemic. The grant program is for licensed small businesses with 10 employees or less and can be used for rent payments, utility payments, and for normal operating costs. Douglas County Fire District 2 this week celebrated the groundbreaking for its new fire station at 240 35th Street Northwest near the Otobashan Bridge. The 13,000 square foot station is being funded through a levy lift approved by voters in 2016 and a $1 million federal grant that will help pay for the firefighters to staff that building. A minimum of 3 full-time firefighters will be on duty at Fire Station number 4 at all times. The station will house a ladder truck, fire engine, rescue vehicle, and a brush truck. In addition, the building will serve as an incubator for the district's resident program, where aspiring firefighters of all ages will receive training and guidance. The building is expected to open for service in June of 2021. Well, the state Supreme Court has weighed in on racial injustice amid hundreds of protests over police brutality toward Americans of color. All 9 justices signed onto a letter urging lawyers and judges in Washington to address the roots of racial injustice. The court letter says, quote, "We call on every member of our legal community to reflect on this moment and ask ourselves how we may work together to eradicate racism." The letter follows the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis police custody on May 25th. 3 police officers there are now charged with his murder. The killing set off a wave of demonstrations and confrontations by police in cities around the United States. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. NCWLIFE Channel reached out to area high schools back in March when in-person education was canceled by the pandemic. The offer was to help film some sort of graduation ceremony. In tonight's feature story, fast forward 3 months, 42 recording sessions, and hundreds of hours of editing later, and we're ready to present the virtual graduations of Eastmont and Wenatchee high schools tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. So the big question is, of course, what will it all look like? Well, here's a little peek.
No, they say you can't go home again. I just had to come back one last time. And I know you don't know me from Adam, but these handprints on the front steps are mine. And up those stairs in that little back bedroom is where I did my homework and I learned to play guitar. And I bet you didn't know, under that live oak, my favorite dog is buried in the yard.
And once again, a reminder, we will be broadcasting those graduations. First, Eastmont at 6 p.m. and then Wenatchee following that at 8 p.m. We hope you'll join us then. Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast, taking a look outside our weather window. And really, it wasn't a bad day out there today. The good news about today was much less wind than we've seen the last couple of days. Unofficial high temperature today at 72 degrees, so a little cooler than normal. That's 76, and we're right in the ballpark as far as lows this morning at 53. 99, our record high. Look at that. 4 years ago, 2016, it was a scorcher. 40, our record low, and that was in 1976. Sunrise this morning, 5:06, and the sun will set tonight for us at 8:54. Taking a peek at our Friday, or I should say our Saturday forecast. Yeah, we're getting into the weekend, and it's not going to be that great a weekend. We will see cooler temperatures tomorrow, lower 70s for the Columbia Basin, around 70 in Wenatchee, Eniat, and Chelan. Omak a little bit warmer than that at 71. We're going to see some cloudy skies tomorrow and a little bit of breeze as well. We'll get to that in a second. But taking a look at that surface, or I should say surface loop, yeah, here it is. Mostly cloudy skies tonight. With all these clouds, we could see a shower. I'm really not convinced we're going to see a lot of rain out of this. We're going to put about a 30% chance on it overnight tonight. I think it'll be very light, misty showers if we see anything. And then for Saturday and through the rest of the weekend, wind will be the optimal word. We're not going to see it so bad on Saturday, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Look at all this wind back around the western United States into Montana. As we get into Sunday, more of the same. In fact, a lot windier. Northwest 10 to 20 miles an hour. You can see it right here through the central part of Washington State. Partly cloudy skies as we make our way through Sunday too, and cooler, and we'll be even cooler than that on Monday. In fact, we could be 10 degrees below normal on Monday, and lots of wind once again all over Washington State. Out in the Pacific too, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Cool, as I mentioned, with temperatures only in the 60s. We'll struggle, most of us, to make 65 degrees on Monday, and then things get wet again as we get into Tuesday. Mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance for, I think, mainly morning showers here in the Wenatchee area for Tuesday. And then as we get into Wednesday, things stabilize somewhat. We'll see partly cloudy skies and warmer temperatures. A little bit of a ridge of high pressure is beginning to swing into Washington, and that'll allow those temperatures to warm up for us. There's that beautiful orange color that we all like to see. That means temperatures in the mid 70s, and that'll be our situation for Thursday as well. With partly cloudy skies, it will warm up even a little bit more, as a lot of folks in eastern Washington could be creeping up on 80 degrees. And let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 50 for the low tonight. Breezy Saturday. Downright windy on both Sunday and Monday. Temperatures not that warm either, only in the upper 60s. We're going to stay that way on Tuesday with a 30% chance of rain, and then a big warm up as we get into midweek next week. 75 Wednesday and 77 your high temperature on Thursday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Buick and GMC are here to help, to keep you going through these unprecedented times. If you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home with Shop, Click, Drive. If you need service, our certified technicians are ready to help. You can even schedule your appointment online. Together, we'll get through these uncertain times. Buick and GMC, we're here to help.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway or visit chartercollege.edu.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Finally Friday to you. Eric Granstrom staying home and staying healthy with a look at sports news. It's now official. The West Coast League has canceled the summer collegiate season. You knew it was only a matter of time. The Apple Sox still holding out hope, however. In a statement from the West Coast League today, they said the league's board of directors voted to cancel its 2020 summer collegiate season due to the pandemic-related safety guidelines and travel restrictions across Washington and Oregon. Concurrently, league members Cowlitz, Port Angeles, Ridgefield, Walla Walla, and Yakima Valley are canceling their respective seasons. The league's Wenatchee Apple Sox and Portland Pickles still hope to play this summer independently. West Coast League Commissioner Rob Nyer said, quote, "We're heartbroken about 2020, but we're already looking towards 2021. With Nanaimo joining the league, we are confident that next summer will be our best yet," end quote. The Apple Sox management released a press release here this afternoon saying that while they might not have baseball games, they certainly will have a training camp. Stay tuned for more information on that here in the coming week. Of course, they have to get to Phase 3 in Chelan County for anything to happen. That'll have to be helped along by the local health authorities as well as the state of Washington, so we'll see about that. Well, the coronavirus pandemic has been costly to Major League Baseball. It has devastated minor league baseball. The Mariners alone have released 44 minor league players so far, which for many marks the end of their baseball careers. ESPN's Jeff Passan reports across baseball, hundreds of minor league players were cut and lost their jobs. In the end, upwards of 1,000 players could see their baseball careers end. The minor leagues have simply been devastated, says Passan, which is why baseball has chosen to slash next week's draft from 40 rounds to just 5 rounds. For the Mariners, minor leaguers that still are with the organization are receiving their $400 a week stipend for now. We'll see. NFL has told coaches around the league that they could start returning to their facilities as soon as today. The entire NFL shut down for the COVID-19 pandemic in March and haven't allowed coaches and staffs to return to the facilities. Yesterday's announcement was happily received by all except a couple of teams, including the Seahawks. Seattle still has not received clearance from King County Health District to return to its facility in Renton. In addition, San Francisco coaches awaiting clearance for their ability to return. Now, King County remains in Phase 1 of the state's reopening plan, which allows for only essential businesses to be open. The county has applied for a modified Phase 1 of the Safe Start plan that would allow for limited openings for more businesses, which would clear the way for the Seahawks coaching staff to get back. We heard today, in fact, that while Chelan and Douglas County remain in Phase 1, King County, believe it or not, has gone to Phase 1.5. So it looks like the Seahawks coaching staff will be able to get back to work. Well, Washington residents have a unique opportunity this weekend to fish for free. The Department of Fish and Wildlife has waived the need for licenses tomorrow and Sunday. Marion and I found out that there is plenty of fish to be caught here in local lakes.
It's staying down. Here it comes. Got it. Oh my gosh. And these are so big. Okay, I'm going to get the net and we're going to get some fish on here. I mean, they are good sized trout. And we're having some fun here at Billy Clap Lake. So
stay tuned.
Yeah. No, go ahead and keep filming, honey. I'll reel him up and I'll net him here.
Okay.
And such a gorgeous day and a gorgeous body of water. And man, I'll tell you, you can't get much better than some of these fish here at Billy Clap Lake. Check out the size of these trout. They are 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 18 to 20 inches, all kind of cookie cutters, but my goodness, are they absolutely gorgeous.
That was at Billy Clap Lake, just east of Soap Lake. Of course, the reports are great for kokanee and chelan. If you want to fish for walleye or bass, Banks Lake, the place to go. And here locally, you can catch some good trout up at Beehive Reservoir. Well, speaking of fishing, another local opportunity just opened this morning. The Icicle River opened for Chinook salmon fishing this morning. According to the Department of Fish and Wildlife, sufficient returns of hatchery Chinook are expected to meet broodstock needs for the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. Fishery is open from 800 feet upstream from the mouth of the Icicle. That's just up from the Wenatchee River, and 500 feet downstream from the fish hatchery dam. Limit is 1 hatchery Chinook per day, and the fishery remains open until hopefully the end of June. Well, we're focusing on graduation ceremonies, of course, with 2 coming up here on the NCWLIFE channel tonight. We've got 3 more coming up tomorrow, but we do have hockey for those hockey fans coming up on Sunday. The first is that heartbreaking end to the 2018 season at the RBC Cup for the Wenatchee Wild against Wellington. Then at 7 o'clock, it's Wenatchee's game from December 4th against Penticton. Again, congratulations to the class of 2020. Have a great, safe, and sane weekend. I'll see you again on Monday. I'm Eric Granstrom with Sports. Grant, back to you.
Thanks a bunch, Eric. And with the COVID-19 pandemic limiting activities and celebrations for the high school class of 2020, one Wenatchee tradition did take place this morning. Graduates in their gowns riding scooters. Big thanks to a photographer, Uriah Darby, for that video. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant, and congratulations to the classes of 2020. The future is yours. Da, 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 da. That's Pomp and Circumstance. Does that have words to it, the song Pomp and Circumstances? Here's what I'm going to do over the weekend. I'm going to write lyrics to Pomp and Circumstance, and I'll sing it for you on Monday morning. Television history right here, 7 a.m. Monday morning. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then. Grant, back to you.
Can't wait to hear that, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.